Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry. These are my top 10 favorite characters in film for 2019. Here we are at the end of yet another year, and this year particularly was full of some pretty amazing films. And the building blocks of those films are these characters that we all grow to know, love, laugh with, cry with, go on these big grand adventures with. If it's all done right, by the end of the film going experience, we've really made connections with the characters. So, as we highlight our favorite films of the year, I like to take some time out to highlight some of those characters that really made an impact on me and made the film going experience something a little bit extra special. So, a few disclaimers. This is obviously my personal list. We are all individuals, we are all different, and we resonate with different characters and different people just in the wake of life. So, I'm sure your list is going to look quite different, and I can't wait to see those characters that made an impact on you in the comment section down below. But do remember, this is just my own personal list and how these characters resonated with me. So, I haven't seen everything that came out this year. I did see a lot of films in 2019, as I usually do, but there are inevitably some movies that just slipped through the cracks. Obviously, if I didn't get a chance to see a film, those characters never had a chance to really make an impact on me. Without further ado, let's kick off the countdown. Starting in at number 10, I have Marta from Knives Out. Ana de Armas brought this character to life so well. There were certainly plenty of characters to choose from when it came to this film. Particularly, I loved Ransom and Chris Evans' portrayal. He's certainly an honorable mention. But since I'm keeping this to one slot per film, he didn't quite make the cut. Instead, I chose Marta because she is certainly the heart of Knives Out. Everything kind of centers around her character, though she's not the detective. She is an integral part of the storytelling. She gets plenty of laughs herself in this movie with some of the best moments, including a couple scenes I particularly loved. That ending was everything. And the moment where she kind of outwits Michael Shannon's character as they're discussing a legal battle. I don't know about those high waters Miss Marta was wearing, but Ana de Armas brought so much to the character and really enveloped a real human and made us feel and laugh with her as we go through this quite crazy charade. At number 9, I have Pikachu from Detective Pikachu. This one has an asterisk because I'm a big Pokemon fan, and particularly, I'm a big Pikachu fan. So, heading in to this film, I already loved him. But in some ways, that's a bigger testament to the filmmakers that a fan like me was going to love this live action version of a character I've loved my entire life. Starting us off, Detective Pikachu is absolutely adorable. I don't know that you could have nailed a design of an animated character to live action any better than this. He was amazing, so cute. The mannerisms, the way of moving, everything about Pikachu in this film made me just like explode with cuteness. Not to mention Ryan Reynolds at first seemed like an odd choice, but upon watching the film, I was hooked. I was laughing. I thought he was a wonderful voice for Detective Pikachu and made me just fall in love with the idea of a talking version of the Pokemon I love. Plus, it was so full of heart, it was so authentic and respectful to the source material. There was a deeper story to be told there, and it all just worked for me. At number 8, I have Elsa from Frozen 2. I didn't anticipate putting someone from Frozen 2 on my list, honestly. I thought Elsa was great in the first Frozen. She was certainly the character I most identified with on that plight. But there was a lot of void. There was distance with the audience that kept me from fully enveloping and loving Elsa. And that's what landed her this position for the list, coming out of Frozen 2, because I love, love, love what happened with the character of Elsa in this film. So much time and development has gone into creating a fully formed character here. Plus, I love the direction they take her in. But there's such a clear change from where we start the film with her to that end amazing point she stops with. The show yourself segment, it was such a big, moving, powerful, character moment for her, and I was on board, almost in tears. I loved it so much. She's such a relatable character, obviously, to the LGBTQ community, but also to really any community. Elsa is that beautiful blend of just open enough that we all can see ourselves in her, but she receives so much development along the way that she doesn't feel like some hollow shell of a person. Plus, she has powers and she uses them amazingly well. I could have gone with a couple of those cute little characters in this film, but it truly was Elsa's journey and it was done impeccably well. At number 7, I have Roy McBride from Ad Astra. The character of Roy McBride is a big reason I loved the film of Ad Astra as much as I did. Of course, the visuals are beautiful, that score is stunning, but it was his personal journey that resonated and rang true with me. Seeing this character and how he deals with emotion and how he deals with loss, with grief, and opening up and breaking down those walls of toxic masculinity was beautiful and really, really an experience. Brad Pitt plays the character to a T impeccably well. It's an understated performance, but one that just hit me like a ton of bricks by the end of the film. Seeing the sternness and the fight and that internal walls just through his face and his voice was stunning. And then getting that moment where we finally get to crack through and see beyond that was something truly special. In many ways, I was able to really relate to this character, though his circumstance obviously was much different than anything I've been through. But that was the magic and the beauty of it all. At number 6, I have Yi from Abominable. Not only was this a pleasant surprise in terms of animated films in 2019, Yi as a character turned out to be much more complex, well layered, and impactful than I had ever anticipated. Watching this story of grief unfold through this young woman was really, really beautiful. Seeing how she interacted in the world around her as someone who didn't properly mourn or accept the death of her father was really true right from the beginning of this film. And watching as she interacts with the humans, obviously, that come on her journey with her, but more importantly, Everest, the Yeti that she is working to save, and how through him, through his powers, and through her own powers of music, she's able to work through that process she never had the chance to before, or that she never let herself process before, was really something special, especially in the animated medium. Plus, we got the beautiful visuals and the beautiful music and this fun, wonderful story to go along with it. But the driving force isn't really Everest in this film as much as you'd think it would be. To me, it was always Yi, because she was the heartbeat of this film. Kicking off our top 5, I have Gigi from Booksmart. Now, this is what I call a scene stealing performance. The character of Gigi is quite over the top, is kind of unbelievable, and is pretty ridiculous. But my God, did I not just anticipate each and every second that she popped up on the screen, because I absolutely loved her. Introduced as just this ridiculous, over the top, foolish character, honestly, from the get-go, you're instantly intrigued as she waves around in the wind outside of a convertible. But as we go on through the film, she serves much more of a purpose than you initially anticipate, and she is far and away the scene-stealing comedic relief of the entire thing. Her presence is sorely missed each and every time she's not in frame. And I thought she had literally every single one of the best moments in this film. So Gigi is one of those standout characters of the year to me, one that instantly stuck out, and kind of a scene stealer for the whole of 2019 when it comes to film in my book. At number 4, I have Nai from The Farewell. This film was actually chock full of really strong performances. A lot of these characters go on big personal journeys. Nai doesn't actually go on the journey that so many of these other characters do because she's not in the loop on what's going on. But wow, the acting, the performance is so good for Nai. This felt just like your grandma. This could be anyone's grandma. She's so relatable as a grandmotherly figure. I instantly connected to her. She has so many of the big laughs, but she also has pretty much all of the big heartfelt moments. What makes this character so special that throughout the film, you as an audience member are instantly endeared and falling in love with Nai Nai. You're in on the plight, you're in on what's going on, and you just want to be with her and spend as much time as you can as we go through the film. She's warm, she's funny. Everything about her just rings as truth, as authentic. You never feel as though you're watching a performance. You feel as though you're there in the house having dinner with her. And that made the performance and, in turn, the film as special as it was. At number 3, I have Tony Stark from Avengers Endgame. This was a tough one for me, obviously choosing when it came to this amazing ensemble of Endgame. Unfortunately, unlike Infinity War, I can't choose my man, my fave, Thor, well, because I think they did his character a major disservice, but we're not here to talk about that. For me, Tony Stark was kind of the highlight of this entire film. He gets the development, he gets the story arc, and he gets the big moments, and they all worked. I think this is some of the deepest we've gone with the character of Tony Stark, seeing what he has to lose versus what he has to gain, and watching as his character navigates those personal choices versus worldly choices was really something special. Of course, we get those moments with his father, and then we get that I'm Iron Man moment that just steals the show by the end of this film. The moments with Tony really are the ones that hit home the hardest for me. And I really think this is some of the most subtle but effective character work that the MCU has had, in particular when it comes to these very large character filled ensemble films. So, in my runner up position at number 2, I have Zach from the Peanut Butter Falcon. How could you not love Zach? I don't know. I will never understand that. Are there people who don't love Zach? But what an amazing character, just from the get go, from the premise, to have this co lead, who not only is a character with Down syndrome, but is an actual person, an actor with Down syndrome, and have him be this wonderful joy, this courageous ball of hope who endears, motivates, and inspires the audience. I don't think it's ever done in a cheesy way. He is never pandered down to. The character is just so well written and performed beautifully by Zach himself. His ambitions are authentic, his joy is real, his pain and worries, you feel them to your core. I think all of the side characters are also wonderful. LaBeouf's character could easily have been on this list as well, but honestly, it's Zach that is such a driving force of this character. He provides so much of the comic relief, but he also provides all of the heart that we feel here. And this movie completely falls apart and does not work without this beautiful character driving the entire narrative. A fully fleshed out, realized, wonderful person with a disability leading a film like this was such a treat. And then to have the character just be so well written, well acted, and beautifully realized like this, well, that is something special. Before I unveil my number 1 pick, here are my honorable mentions. Danny from Midsummer gave us all a little bit of catharsis and really showed Florence Pugh was a force to be reckoned with. Forky from Toy Story 4 is a mouthpiece not only for myself, but the self-deprecating millennial generation. Yes, I am trash. I understand, Forky. Just let me fall in the bin where I belong. Ken Miles from Ford v Ferrari also showed a ton of character growth and unfortunately got screwed because of it. But Christian Bale turned in an amazing performance with a more complex character than originally meets the eye. Dumbo from Dumbo was so cute and so much more endearing than I had ever imagined seeing that first, like, weird looking prototype from Tim Burton. If only he had been the center of this film a little bit more, he could have broken the top 10. Richie from It Chapter 2 was the highlight of the cast this go round as Bill Hader turned in a stunning performance in a really well written, complex character study, all sitting within a star studded ensemble cast of a horror film. That's how you steal the show. Sophia from John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum was the standout for me, played wonderfully by Halle Berry. She has a very short role, but definitely serves as the most memorable moment of the entire film. Mysterio from Spider Man Far From Home serves as one of the best villains the MCU has delivered to date. Played wonderfully by Jake Gyllenhaal, given a lot to do and some wonderful twists. Ramona from Hustlers was a character that easily could have just been vilified, but given ample material to work with, Jennifer Lopez gives us a real human that we can empathize with as well as look up to in an odd sort of way. And then finally, Joe from Little Women, played beautifully by Saoirse Ronan, is maybe my favorite iteration of the character and gracefully show that even the strongest of us need love too. And finally, my number one, my favorite character of 2019 is Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. I will say this is kind of a shared spot between Toothless and Hiccup, but honestly, in many ways, this was Toothless's film. Now, it is a bit unfair because, like Pikachu, I've had 9 years to grow with and love the character of Toothless, but he really gets to shine in this film. I wasn't sure about it heading in, but I loved the relationship between he and the Light Fury. He has always provided so much heart to the series, and seeing him get to grow and develop as his own autonomous being was really, really beautiful and heartfelt, and in the end, heart wrenching as we go throughout this film. Toothless is presented with some really tough scenarios and tough situations, and you empathize with this dragon. He never needs words to express how he's feeling. He's able to send daggers through your heart. He's able to make you laugh and have you elated, feeling like you're soaring up in the clouds with him. I love Toothless, and I think this film gave a beautiful ode to the character and a wonderful send off to one of the great friendships of film. Without a doubt, Toothless and Hiccup is my favorite character in any film I saw for 2019. So that's it. That is my ranking. Those are the 10 best characters in film for me when it comes to 2019. What did you think of my list and ranking? Do you agree? Do you disagree? More importantly, what characters resonated with you most over the past year in film? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. Also, if you liked this video, hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on my latest videos. I love you all so much for your continued support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!